So, good morning once again, and welcome to an amazing session of Get In, Get Fit series. Today, the series is series 21, such another milestone. Seriously, it's so amazing that, we have had our crawling days and then our walking days. And I guess now we have come to our jogging days, right? So that it has really made a difference to all of us at Get In, Get Fit series. And what's so amazing is the line of speakers. Every week, we have such amazing people who are, contributing to the welfare of each one of us. Not only for the people who are attending the session, but also for the people who, are asking me for the link even after the session and, commenting on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you so much for being those wonderful followers and trying to take this series to another level. And how it all started is, for those newcomers, is, we just started as a small WhatsApp group and a Zoom link where we started doing yoga and pranayam. And after that, it escalated to an expert speaker every week. And now, it is 21, which means 5 months are over. And I'm already thinking about how to celebrate the 25th week. And that comes on Jan 16th. Obviously, all of us know, Tamilla we say Thai Porandal Vali Porakkum abdingarada. So we just hope and pray that truly 2021 is an amazing year waiting for all of us, and all new things would come starting from Thai Masam, right? So I'm super excited, and I'm going to have the 25th session as a, not as a concluding session, but as a session which would have all of you, whoever wants to be the speaker, you can, very well let me know, because this is going to be a week where we are going to celebrate the entire Get In, Get Fit series as how it made a difference to each one of you. The series as such is a very holistic way of approach to life. So it is nothing about when you say get in, get fit, it means you get into the series. But getting fit does not physically, the fitness only is not the, main aim. It is about being mentally fit. It is about being emotionally strong and, psychologically strong. And today's speaker is going to throw so much of light on this aspect. So when I said get in, get fit, it means a fitness in, heart, body, mind, and soul. That's what we keep saying every single time, right? And it is so amazing because when we hear each of the speakers, we understand that we need a complete 360-degree approach to life. It cannot be a very narrow-minded, very single thought process of way of life, right? And this session, I'm sure, is going to be an eye-opener because it's the first time we are having somebody talking about pranic healing. And Sita has been such an amazing person. I came to know of Sita through a very good friend of mine called Padmini, a friend who both of us have very high regards for. And Padmini suggested Sita's name, and I've been interacting with Sita for I think about 2-3 weeks right now, and it's so amazing to know that our friendship has grown over these weeks. And for a person that Sita is, I think she lightens and brightens the atmosphere, and that is something which I enjoyed while talking to her. And I feel there is always a kind of a child in her. I just want to share with her permission what happened last evening. She said, "Ayyo, how can I be so dumbo?" And I said, "What happened?" I mean, it was the 11th hour, and I was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" So then, she said, "No, yaar, I never asked anything about you." I said, no, nothing about me. It's all about you tomorrow. And that was so amazing. See, so down to earth people, people who are so well versatile in their own field, and how humble and how much of humility is there in each one of them. I mean, I've got lots to learn from all of you. And thank you so much, Sita. I know how busy you are and the kind of person you are. As I'm going to talk to the delegates today about the profile which you have. I mean, it's so amazing. What I liked about Sita is the kind of calmness she had in her character. I just hope and pray that there would be a day when, our meetings would be not virtual like this, but it would be, the kind of physical meeting. And I could really feel her warmth and that compassionate feeling which she shared with me. I know she is almost, I could say, about 15, 20 years senior to me. But when I asked her, how do I address you? She said, no, call me Sita. That's good enough. And, that's the person you're going to interact with. And now I want the spotlight at Sita, because she is going to share with us some amazing, theories and so many real life stories of how certain alternative therapies can really make a difference in one's life, and how it can bring in positivity into your life. Okay, so today we are looking into a lot of positive avenues to touch us, to heal us, and Sita is going to do some practical demonstrations. So for all those people who are not a part of our group, I request you all to get a bowl of water and add some salt and keep it, preferably rock salt. I'm just showing you my bowl. So this is a bowl and with water and rock salt. So just keep that ready as Sita comes and gives us some amazing practical tips of how we can heal ourselves through the triology. So when I say triology, she's going to talk about pranic healing. She's also going to talk about EFT and Bach flower remedies. And all this is so amazing because, we have never had a speaker talk to us about all this. So it's going to be a totally interesting session. And I want all of you to really glue yourself to your seat and, concentrate and understand, because, when you are talking to your inner soul, there is a kind of a calmness. And generally people say the Brahma Muhurtam, which comes at around 4 in the morning, usually in Hinduism, we practice that. We say, that's a direct connection to God. And why do we say that? It is because the traffic is very less. I'm sure you would understand today when you go out on the road and, you want to go to a place fast, you would also look into the traffic and the route or the fastest route. So don't you all want to have a fastest route? Then the fastest route is going to be a time when there is less traffic. And when is there a less traffic? It is when your thoughts, your feelings and all that is very calm and is able to absorb a lot of information. And, I am super excited to have Sita here. So having spotlight at Sita, I'm going to introduce Sita to the crowd today. And thank you so much to all the delegates for joining in. And what is so amazing about Sita is what I'm going to start sharing. And to understand more about this amazing expert speaker of ours today, you need to understand that she's been a pranic healer since 1997. She used to teach pranic healing in India and abroad till 2010. She's worked as a healer at Maduram Narayanan School for Exceptional Children. She's worked at the Apollo Specialty Hospital until 2002 as a healer. She has her own practice since 2003. She does Bach flower therapy and EFT since 2005 under the tutelage of Mr. Balakumar Naran sir. Does the trio healing, as I told you, the pranic, the Bach flower and the EFT, and has got some amazing results and wonderful inspiring stories to share today. She heals not only human beings but pet animals too. So when you know your kith and kin is suffering, you really don't want to leave any stone unturned, and you want to reach out to as much of positive vibes you can have, and bring it to your house or bring it to that person, even through distance healing. And all that is what is going to be thrown light upon today by our amazing expert speaker, Seetha. Over to you, Seetha, and welcome into our Get In Get Fit series, session 21.
Thank you, Vidya. I hope I really do justice to the amazing introduction that you have given me. I'm more of a practical person than a speaker, so I'm, not very comfortable in front of the camera. But let me try to do my best to whatever you have put forth about me. And I thank you so much for this for starting this series, because from what I have seen of the older things, these are not people who are very popular or in the front line of healing and the front line of fitness, but they are people who can contribute in every little way they can for the betterment of other people. And this is what is so important. Like if I want to make a recipe, like suppose I want to make say paneer paratha or something like that, I would rather ask my neighbor to give me a simple recipe than go through a cookbook which tells me so much in like in detail and in a very expert way. So in that way, I think we need to look for people next door who will give us some tips on how to live healthy and stay healthy. So I thank you so much for this series. It's a very welcome thing that you are doing. So let me just get into what we are going to do today. Like Vidya said, we are going to talk about pranic healing. We're going to talk about EFT or tapping, and we're going to talk about Bach flowers. Why I chose these three therapies is because I have found them. So I started my journey as a pure pranic healer in '97, and in 2005 I learned about the Bach flower and the EFT, and that is when I found that all three of them can be incorporated to get better healing results. So if you look at any ailment, it is not dependent upon just one therapy. Like if you have something like chronic migraines, it is not only to do with taking medication, it is also to do with changing your lifestyle. It is to do with changing your emotions and your attitudes. It is to do with changing your diet. So one particular ailment has to be approached in a lot of different ways in order to be able to come to a complete or a holistic healing. And that is what the body is about. The body is not just different parts. It's not just the gallbladder. It's not just the heart or the liver. It is the emotions. It is the reactions. It is everything. So you have to treat at a mind-body level. And therefore, I found pranic healing treats at a mind level and at a physical level. So we have pranic psychotherapy and we have pranic healing, which is a physical and an emotional mental thing. EFT treats the emotional. It treats the physical through the emotional, and the same thing with Bach flower. Because all these three therapies are based on energy. And what is energy? Energy, and what is an ailment actually? It is a manifestation at the physical level of your innermost thoughts, feelings, reactions, etc., to particular situations, to people, and your attitude to life. So let me start by making you do a few things. Just sit back, relax, just follow what I'm doing. Breathe in, breathe out. Pull your hands like this in front of you. Okay, just take a deep breath. As you breathe, your abdomen should come out. As you exhale, abdomen in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax yourself. Okay. Now place your hands in front of you like this, your palms facing each other. Relax your fingers, relax your armpits, your arms. If you want, you can rest. If you're sitting on a chair which has arms, you can rest your hands on the arms of the chair. Okay, just place your hands with your palms facing each other at about a 1 foot distance from each other. Okay. Now, connect your tongue to your palate. That is, curl your tongue and let it touch the roof of the mouth. Curl your tongue and let it touch the roof of your mouth, your palate. Inhale, exhale, be relaxed. Okay. Now slowly bring your hands towards each other and slowly away from each other. Move them gently, move them slowly. Don't look for anything. Just make it like a game. Move your hands gently towards each other and move them gently away from each other. Just play with it. Now you can rotate your hands. All the time, be aware of the space between your hands. Be aware of the empty space between your hands. What is happening? What is happening to that space? What happens when you bring your hands closer? What's happening when you move them away from each other? Do you feel a kind of a pressure as you come closer? Do you feel tingling in your fingertips? Do you feel any altered sensation? So it's like trying to, as you come closer, it's like trying to press a fully inflated balloon. There is a point after which your hands will not move closer. You come to a point where, try as you might, you're not able to push your hands closer. What you're actually doing is you're feeling the pranic energy between the palms of your hands. This is what energy is all about. You are feeling the pranic energy between the palms of your hands. Can you feel it? Some people feel a tingling at the fingertips. Some people feel pressure in the center of their palms. But everybody has an altered sensation or an altered feeling, which they normally would not have as they go through their normal routine. Okay? Let me make you do another experiment. Hold out your left or right palm like so. Your fingers can be loose. Be aware of the center of your palm. Be aware of the center of your palm. Okay? Keep your hand at a comfortable height. You can rest your arm on a chair. Keep your armpits a little loose. Now, keeping your attention on the center of your palm, mentally say, I receive fresh, revitalizing prana. I receive fresh, revitalizing prana. Maintain your attention or awareness on the center of your palm. Now the other hand, project it on the floor in front of you like so. Your hand turned downwards, your palm facing the floor. Let it not be near your knee or anything, just a little away. Now mentally say, I receive and I project. So you are actually receiving with the hand that is upturned, with the palm that is upturned, and you are projecting from the palm that is turned down. So with one hand, you're receiving the prana. And where this prana is coming from, I will tell you later. Just do the experiment. Do you feel a pressure in the center of your palm that is receiving the prana? Do you feel any pressure in the center of the palm that is projecting the prana? Do you feel anything at your fingertips? You can just breathe in, relax, inhale, exhale. Now, if you have the bowl of the salt and water next to you, just flick your hands in that bowl, just like this, in the direction of the bowl. Now I'm going to make you do another experiment. Okay? I want you to flex your knee like so. So flex your left knee, flex your right knee. Okay? Like so. Just see how it feels. Now I want you to sit down and keep your bowl, place your bowl of salt and water in front of you. And I want you to do this. Choose either your left knee or your right knee. So people who have a problem with any one of their knees can choose the problematic knee. People who don't have a problem, doesn't matter, you choose your left or your right knee. Okay? And what I want you to do is just follow me. Now apply strokes like as if you're painting like this, outward. You don't need to say anything, just apply strokes as if you're cleaning something. So there is something and you're cleaning the surface. Okay? So just apply these strokes outwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and flick them in the salt water bowl. What you're doing is you're collecting the energy to one point. You're taking that energy and you're flicking it into the salt water bowl. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are not touching your knee. There is no need to touch your knee. Every 5 strokes, please flick your hand into the salt water bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flick your knee. You can work a little lower than the knee also, like you're covering the entire kneecap. So I'm not touching my knee. My hand is 6 inches above my knee. And every 5 strokes, I am flicking my hand in the salt water bowl. As you are doing this, be aware of what is happening. Are you feeling a kind of a tingling sensation? Are you feeling anything around that place as you clean? You know, initially sometimes your hand feels a little denser and thicker. Then your movements become more lucid and more easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now visualize the back of your knee. Visualize this. You can just visualize, or you can apply your hand like this. You can keep your hand at the back. I'm just standing so that you can see, but you can sit down and do it. So back of your knee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The strokes are all outwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it up to a count of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 15 counts. And every 5 counts, please flick into the salt water bowl. 4, 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Flick. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Flick. Okay. Now I want you to clean your hands like so. You're not touching your hand, but you are cleaning your hand like this. Okay. And you're flicking it into the salt water bowl. Clean your hand from your armpits onwards, and you're flicking it into the salt water bowl. Okay. Now I want you to flex your knee, both your knees, and see if there is any difference between the knee that you have cleaned and the one that you have not cleaned. Do you feel a difference? Do you feel a lightness in the knee? Do you feel it flexes better? Do you feel a lightness in the knee that you have cleaned and the one you have not cleaned? Okay. If you do feel a difference, it is because what you have is you have cleansed away the congested energy in that area. Sometimes it is the congested energy or the blocks congested in the nadis or the meridians. See, the body is full of nadis. Odambella vandu in Ayurveda la vandu nadis nu solluvom. Odambella vandu 72,000 nadis irukku. And the mari each place has a nadi. The nadi la block vandaka, energy flow la block vandaka, then you feel a kind of a stiffness or a pain. See, so this is what you are doing is, இப்போ நம்ம இப்படி clean பண்ணும்போது nadis எல்லாம் clean பண்றோம். We are cleaning up the nadis in that area. We are allowing for the flow of prana or the energy. Okay, so this is the first step in pranic healing. This is called cleaning. In the cleaning pannaprom, it's what we do is energizing. Energizing, I'm not going to show you how to do it because it requires a one-to-one tutoring. So this is like வீட வந்து பெருக்கின அப்புறம் ஒழுகுவோம். You don't mop the house first and then sweep. You always sweep the house and then you mop. அதே மாதிரி first step is cleaning and then gathering all that. இப்போ மரத்துல எப்படி நம்ம எல்லாம் டஸ்ட் ஒரு டஸ்ட் பேன்ல நம்ம ஒரு இடத்துல சேர்த்து வச்சுட்டு நம்ம டஸ்ட் பேன்ல எடுக்கிறோமோ அதே மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி clean பண்ணும்போது you are getting all the energy to this one side and then you're taking that and putting it into the salt water bowl. And then you are cleaning your hands. After this, you can wash your hands with soap or konjam table salt எடுத்துட்டு கையை நல்லா இது பண்ணிட்டு தேய்ச்சிட்டு you wash your hands. Now, this is the concept on which pranic healing is based. Okay. Now, this cleaning and this energizing and putting it into the salt water bowl, does it remind you of something? Does it remind you of an ancient, age-old traditional practice that we used to follow in our houses? Okay, this is the tradition of doing drishti. அதாவது என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, கல்லுப்பு கையில எடுத்துக்குவாங்க. Okay, and they will run it around your aura like this. 1, 2, 3. அது பண்ணும்போது என்ன சொல்றாங்க, ஊர் கண்ணு, அவங்க கண்ணு, இவங்க கண்ணு எல்லாம் போகட்டும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் anti-clockwise la idu பண்ணுவோம். Or they do the anti-clockwise first and then they do the clockwise 3 times. அப்புறம் அந்த உப்பு வந்து where do they disintegrate? They don't throw the salt here and there. They either will throw it in the well or they will put it in the fire to crackle. Why do they do that? So that is why we have this bowl of salt and water where salt absorbs the negative energy and water disintegrates the negative energy. இந்த கல்லுப்பு வந்து அவங்க திருஷ்டி சுத்தி போடும்போது அங்க எங்க செடியில இல்ல அங்க எங்க போட்டுட்டாக்கா people will walk over it and they will absorb the negative energies. That's why they say when they break the அமாவாசை அன்னைக்கு அந்த crossroadsல பூஷ்ணிகா உடைக்கும் போது they say don't walk over it. That is drishti or negative energy is removed from somewhere and it has been broken. So we don't walk over these things so that we don't absorb these negative energies. Okay, now look at the principle of rotating. They go anti-clockwise and then they go clockwise. This is because I will show you something that I have here. I hope you can see. These are the chakras of the body. Okay, I will tell you something about the chakras. Not that you don't know, everybody knows that these chakras exist in the yogic process. Okay, now look, these chakras are placed on different parts of the spine. Okay, now why do we do the clockwise anti-clockwise motion is because the chakras are rotating clockwise and anti-clockwise. As the chakras go anti-clockwise, they are releasing the used up energy. As they go clockwise, they are absorbing the fresh energy. That is why when you clean the aura, you cleanse it anti-clockwise first, and then you energize it clockwise. Okay. So from this we come to ask, what is energy? Energy. Now, ellarkum vandu, you know that there is a Sukshma Shariram and a Sthula Shariram. Sukshma Shariram is the physical body, which you can see. You can see me now. I can see you people. I can see your eyes and nose and everything. This is the physical body. Beyond the physical body, there is something called an energy body or the aura. We use this word very easily. Like, oh, she has a very nice aura. She has a very nice vibration about her. This place has a lot of good vibrations. How do we use these terms? Because we are all sentient beings who are able to feel this energy. We may not be able to see. There are people who are clairvoyant and who can see the energies, but everybody does not need to see. But all of us do feel. When we come across, so when you go to the ICU and you meet a person who is sick and in the ICU, you come out of the ICU, you feel completely drained and tired. That is because when you go into the ICU to meet the person, you are full of energy. But anga ponaka, there are a lot of people who are sick. And avanga enna pandranga, without your own knowledge, they take away some of your energy. So you feel drained when you come out. So what is energy? It is a transference from one person to another person. It happens automatically. It can happen through a shake of the hand also. It is a transfer of energy from people to pets. It is a transference of energy from people to plants. When you're growing plants in the house, if you feel that, oh, this plant is not going to survive, it will not survive. If you feel, no, this plant will survive, it needs a lot of taking care of, then it will survive because it is surviving on your energy. Therefore, everything has energy is transferred to each and everything that we do in everyday life. But pranic healing makes you consciously aware that an energy thing is happening. Okay, there is transference of energy happening all the time. Everybody has chakras. Chakras are open. They're receiving and sending energy. But when you know about pranic healing, you are aware that there is a transference of energy. A simple thing. Why do we offer food at home? சாப்பிடுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம வந்து குக் பண்ண உடனே we are offering the food to God. Why do we offer? Because as we cook, okay, we have our own emotions, we have our own reactions, we have our own thoughts. All these things get transferred automatically into the food that we are cooking. The moment you offer that food, it becomes shuddhi and it becomes prasad. And therefore that prasad, when it goes into your body, purifies you. So prasadam ka vandu nama kovilla dhaan vaanganonu avasiyam illa. You have your own prasadam at home. The moment it is offered and you say Krishnarpanam or whatever you say when you offer the food, that is divested of all the negativities and comes out as positive prana. When you eat that positive prana, then you are actually feeding your body, your mind, and your soul. The same thing happens with water. Okay, if a water nu sollumbodhu, body is made up of 70% of water. So when jalam kudikumbodhu, we should see that our emotions are also in good control. Let me show you a few things, some interesting things I came across about water. This book is called The Hidden Power of Water, and it is by a Japanese person who has experimented a lot with water. Okay, and let me show you a few images that I came across. Okay, now, okay, this is so what he does is he takes a droplet of water, he crystallizes the water and he puts it under a microscope to see the shape and the color of the water. Okay. Now, this is when you tell the drop of water happiness. When you just say happiness, and this is how the droplet of water looks. Okay. This thing here is when you say to the water unhappiness. I'm unhappy about you. When you say, this is how the water changes. Now, this is when you tell the water, well done. This crystal here is when you tell the water, well done. And this is when you say, you fool. See how the energy changes. Why I'm telling you, I will correlate all these things for you. Okay. Now, this is the energy of water when it is under stress. This is the energy of water when it is under stress. Okay. The same thing when the water is more relaxed. So what happens is when you drink water when you are stressed, this will be the reaction of that water to the rest of the water in your body. That means it contaminates the rest of the water in your body. When you calm down and drink the water in a more relaxed state, this relaxed state affects the rest of the water in your body. So even a small thing like drinking water, you have to have an attitude towards drinking that water. If you want that water, so everybody says, oh, you must drink a lot of water. Is it just enough to drink a lot of water, or is it important to drink the water with the right attitude so that it actually benefits you? Okay. Now, this is the state of the water when you're worrying. This is the state of the water in your body when you are worrying. This is how it is. And this is the state of the water when you are in a more relaxed state. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, I can go on like this, but I have so many other things to talk about. What I'm trying to tell you is everything has energy. So when you're putting something into you, be conscious of your thought, of your emotions, and then put it in. The simple thing that we do is we carry a bottle of water with us every day. Everybody carries a bottle of water with them. I would like you to do one thing. Just write on a label, thank you, or I love you, or something like that, something nice and positive, and stick the label on the water bottle with the words facing the water. Okay, and drink that water. Every day, drink that water. So you are actually thanking the water for the benefits that it is giving to you, and you are acknowledging its importance in your life. And the molecules of the water will change according to the feeling that you have expressed. And as you drink that water, you are imbibing gratitude, you are imbibing love and compassion. This is energy. And this is very important if you need to lead a holistic, healthy life. It's not just about medicines, it's not just about diagnosis, it's not just about meeting your doctor. It is about taking your health into your own hands and taking responsibility for your own health. Okay. Now, this is what basic pranic healing is about. It is about transference of energy from one source. Now, where is this prana? Okay, let me tell you. Prana has four sources. One is the air. The air that we breathe is called air prana. You have water prana, which is the water that we drink, and you have ground prana. So we say kaathala elundu nalla verum kaaloda pullu mela nadenga, thare mela nadenga. Edukku and the ground prana nama absorb pannikiradhukku through the soles of the feet. Anga vandu chakras irukku, and the chakras valiya we are absorbing the ground prana and we are transferring it to the rest of the body. Innor prana vandu trees. Adnalda ipo ellarum park la walking poranga, because the trees give a lot of oxygen and you are actually more energized than tired. Walking போயிட்டு வந்தப்புறம் you are more energized than you are tired. So இதுதான் 4 sources of prana. Secondary sources of prana is the food that you eat, the company that you keep, the exercises that you do, your yoga or whatever regimen, your pranayam. These are all secondary sources of prana. So this is where the energy comes from. So this is basic pranic healing, where we learn how to scan a person, scan the chakras, then do a cleaning like how we do, and then energize by receiving the pranic energy and by transferring that energy. The next level of pranic healing is psychotherapy. Psychotherapy, we know that each of the chakras, they carry different emotions, and how we work on removing the negative emotions, transferring positive emotions, and then helping people out of mental ailments, like they could have insomnia, they could have depression, they could have hyperactivity, any of these which are based on chronic emotional and psychological problems. Okay, so that is pranic psychotherapy. From pranic psychotherapy, we come on to the next thing. This is called EFT or tapping. Okay, if I want you all to take a pen and paper and write down any particular emotion that is troubling you at this point of time. Just write very briefly. Just very briefly write down any particular emotion that is troubling you, or any particular situation that is bothering you at this point of time. Are you going through a situation or a phase where you are having difficulty in handling that situation? Just write it down in a sentence. Okay. Now, next point, write down your reaction to this situation. Is it making you angry? Is it making you frustrated? Is it making you feel hopeless? Is it making you feel resentful? So suppose you don't have a current situation that is problematic. If you have an older situation that still continues to be a problem for you, you can write that down. இப்போதைக்கு எனக்கு லைஃப் எல்லாம் நல்லா போயிட்டு இருக்கு, ஆனா பழைய ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்கு, அது இன்னும் I'm not able to overcome அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னாக்கா அது கூட எழுதலாம். உங்களோட ரியாக்ஷன் என்ன at the moment, அதை யோசிக்கும் போது when you think of the situation emotionally, அது உங்களுக்கு எப்படி ரியாக்ட் பண்றீங்க, இல்ல அது உங்களுக்கு கோபம் வருதா, இல்ல frustration வருதா, இல்ல hopelessness வருதா, write that down. Then lastly, write down what exactly you want. What exactly you want. In the situation பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் எனக்கு என்ன வேணும்? I want it to go away, but அது எப்படி போகணும்னு உங்களுக்கு ஒரு யூகம் இருக்கும். You know how you have a certain idea of how you want this situation to be solved. So write it down. Okay. In the second and third aspect, அதாவது உங்களோட reaction, அத scale of 1 to 10 10 is the highest mark, 1 is the least mark. So உங்களோட emotion scale of 1 to 10 எங்க போடுவீங்க? 4, 5, 6, 8. Give it a number. Okay. Now I will show you the tapping points, and there are 14 or 15 tapping points. And just watch me. The first point edunaka, you have this throat, the hollow of the throat here, Ilya. Angirnda 3 inches below that, 3 inches below the hollow of your throat. Okay, and then 3 inches to your left and 3 inches to the right of that. Anga press panninganaka, if you press that point, you will feel a slight pain or a soreness on the bone. You will feel a slight pain or a soreness. This is called the sore point. S-O-R-E, sore point. Okay, that is in the hollow length, 3 inches below, 3 inches to the left, 3 inches to the right. It is called the sore point. Okay, you can even take down as I'm telling you. Then the second point is the starting of the eyebrow. Where the eyebrows actually start, this point here and here, the left and the right. That is point 2. The third point is the end of the eyebrow. The end of the eyebrow, it could be here at the temple. The fourth point is below the eye. It is below the eye. This is point number 4, below the eye. Then point number 5 is below the nose, in the center here, below the nose. Then the next point is chin. Next point is the chin. Okay. The next point is the collarbone. The starting of the collarbone here is the next point. Okay. The next point is the side of the thumb. The outside of the thumb. Outside of the thumb. This point, the outside of the thumb. Then the outside of the index finger. The side of the index finger, the outside. Same way, outside of the middle finger, the long finger. We do not use the ring finger, that is not used. Then the outside of the little finger. Then this is what we call the karate chop point. When they do the karate chop, you know, this point is called the karate chop point. Yeah, the side of this hand here is the karate chop point. Then the other point is here. Between these two fingers, there's a slight dip in this area. This is called the back of the hand. The back of the hand. You can feel it at the back of your hand. And then the last point is the top of the head. The center of the top of the head. Okay, so I'll run over the points for you again. The first point is the sore point. So wherever there are points on both sides, you can tap just one side. That will do. You can tap either this side or this side. Just showing you both. This is the sore point. That's point number 1. That's the starting point. Then the starting of the eyebrows. And then the sides of the eyebrows or the temples here. And then the below the eye point. Then nose, chin, collarbone, outside of the thumb, outside of the index finger, side of the middle finger, outside of the little finger, the karate chop point, the back of the hand point, and the top of the head. Okay, so these are the points. Now, how do we do? Tapping is also called meridian psychology. இது எப்படி உருவாச்சு அப்படின்னாக்கா அமெரிக்கால 2 psychologists, they actually founded this thing is also called Chinese acupressure மாதிரி, because it works on the meridians. So அவங்க தான் இதை வந்து கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்க. எப்படின்னு சொன்னாக்கா அந்த நேரத்துல வியட்நாம் வார்ல இருந்து நிறைய சோல்ஜர்ஸ் வீட்டுக்கு திருப்பி வந்தாங்க. திரும்பி வரும்போது they were all traumatized by the war, the memories of the war, because Vietnam war நம்ம வேர்ல்ட் ஹிஸ்டரியில பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப கொடூரமான ஒரு war. After the world wars, ரொம்ப கொடூரமான ஒரு war. அது நிறைய சோல்ஜர்ஸ் they were all mentally traumatized and affected to such an extent that வீட்டுக்கு வந்த அப்புறம் டே டு டே லைஃபே அவளுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருந்தது. எது ஒண்ணு பண்ண போனாலும் the memories of that war, the memories of the pain, the torture and everything was in their minds. They were not able to get over it. So they were not able to lead a normal life and go through a normal livelihood because of these things. So இது எந்த மருந்து மாத்திரை psychology counseling சொல்லி கூட it was not helping them get over it. ஏன் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா எப்பவுமே நமக்கு ஒரு சம்பவம் நடந்ததுனாக்கா when we go through an experience, அது வந்து நம்ம ஆழ் மனசுல பதிவாயிடுது. It actually gets immortalized in our cell memory. So later on in life, any situation that happens to trigger that, immediately it brings back. இப்போ நான் வந்து லிஃப்ட்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கேன், இன்னைக்கு லிஃப்ட்ல போறேன், லிஃப்ட்ல போகும்போது லிஃப்ட் ஸ்டக் ஆயிடுது அப்படின்னாக்கா, எப்போ நான் லிஃப்ட் பார்த்தாலும் whenever I see an elevator, I will think of that memory, and it will immediately trigger a fear and a panic within me, and I will not go to the lift. Anna, can I live my life with this fear and panic? No, I should be able to get over this and get on with life. So what do I do? That fear and panic, which is embedded in my cell memory, I should remove that. I should remove that and replace it with positive things. So a lot of people say, oh, you should not have any fears. You should think positive thoughts. You should say positive thoughts. Okay, I might look at the lift and say, oh, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not going to panic. But do I actually feel it? Do I actually feel that fearlessness? So you cannot just say something positive without feeling that. In order to believe what I say, the positive thoughts, I must first remove the negative from my cell memory. Okay, only then I will be able to say the positive thoughts. So tapping is removing from cell memory the traumas or the fears or the resentments or the angers that you have towards a particular situation or this thing that you have gone through, and then replace it with the positive. அதனால தான் உங்களுக்கு நான் வந்து 3 சென்டென்ஸ் எழுத சொன்னேன். What is happening? What is the negative thing that is happening in my life right now? What is my reaction to it? And what do I want? Okay, now we are going to tap on this. இப்போ நீங்க எழுதிருக்கிற சென்டென்ஸ்ல வந்து நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க? Suppose right now I am going through a financial crisis அப்படின்னு சொல்றீங்க. And in the financial crisis, because I am going through that, I am becoming very insecure, I am becoming irritable, or I have a lot of fears and anxieties. Now you tap on, as you tap on these points, you say, I completely and totally accept my fears and my anxiety. I completely and totally accept my fear, or whatever you written, என்ன emotion எழுதிருக்கீங்க towards this situation. As you tap with 2 fingers, you say, I completely and totally accept my feelings or my fears. So as you tap, please say that, and then tap on each point. I completely and totally accept my fears and my anxieties. Whatever emotion நீங்க எழுதிருக்கீங்களோ அதை அப்படியே நீங்க இது பண்ணுங்க. I'm just taking an example. Whatever you've written, sore point, I completely and totally accept. Eyebrows, I completely and totally accept. Temples, I completely and totally accept. Under the eye, I completely and totally accept. Nose, I completely and totally accept. Chin, I completely and totally accept. Collarbone, I completely and totally accept. Thumb, I completely and totally accept. Index finger, I completely and totally accept. Middle finger, I completely and totally accept. Little finger, I completely and totally accept. Karate chop point, I completely and totally accept. Back of the hand, I completely and totally accept. Top of the head, I completely and totally accept. After doing the top of the head, relax. Put your ring finger and thumb on the bridge of your nose like this, and your index finger and middle finger in the center of your forehead like this. Okay. Keep your other hand on your solar plexus. Relax. Inhale and exhale. Okay, bring your hands down. Now, நீங்க last part on எழுதிருக்கீங்க. What do I want? How do I want? in the situation எப்படி solve ஆகணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க எழுதிருக்கீங்க. So that is the positive thing that you want it to happen. இப்படி இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும். இப்படி solve ஆச்சுனாக்கா நல்லா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஒன்னு எழுதிருக்கீங்க இல்லையா? Now use that sentence and I say, I choose to see it happening like this. Again, tap on the same points. I release these emotions and choose to see this solution. I release the emotions and choose to see this solution. அதாவது உங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற emotions release பண்ணிட்டு இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு முடிவு, பாசிட்டிவ் முடிவு வரணும் அப்படின்னு எதிர்பார்க்கிறோம். I release the emotions and choose to see this solution. I release the emotions and choose to see this solution. Keep tapping on every point, side of the karate chop, back of the hand, top of the head. One more round. Start with the sore point. I release the emotions and choose to see this solution. End of the eyebrows, under the eyes, nose, chin, collarbone, thumb, index finger side le, middle finger side le. I release the emotions and choose to see this solution. Karate chop, back of the hand, top of the head. Okay, relax. Ring finger and thumb on the bridge of your nose, index finger and long finger, center of your forehead. Relax, inhale, exhale. Okay, relax. Now, நீங்க எழுதிருக்கிற ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து பாருங்க. Look at the emotions that you have written. அதுக்கு என்ன ரேட்டிங் கொடுத்திருக்கீங்கன்னு பாருங்க. அந்த ரேட்டிங்ல இருந்து குறைஞ்சிருக்கா? சப்போஸ் 7 கொடுத்திருக்கீங்க, 8 கொடுத்திருக்கீங்கன்னா 5க்கு வந்திருக்கா, 4க்கு வந்திருக்கா? See if your emotion has changed, if your rating has changed. I have only shown you an example. Okay, you can work on the same thing. இப்போ வந்து you can work up to 2. Your emotion can come down to number 2 or even 0 till it comes down to a comfortable level where you are able to feel comfortable with it and make a positive statement. This is the basic of tapping. These are the basic points on which you tap. நம்ம எதுக்கெல்லாம் tap பண்ணலாம்? Old traumas which you want to release and which is still affecting your life, அதை release பண்ணலாம். Some beliefs, and in the belief in சொல்லும்போது at the end of the batch class session I will give you one example of a person how we dealt with pranic healing, with tapping and with the belief. Belief na enna? எங்க வீட்ல வந்து எங்க அம்மா அப்பாக்கு டயபெட்டிஸ் இருக்கு, எங்க தாத்தா பாட்டிக்கு டயபெட்டிஸ் இருக்கு, அதனால எனக்கும் டயபெட்டிஸ் இருக்கும். This is a belief. Okay, lot of our lives are ruled by beliefs. Beliefs are just assumptions. They are not true. And these beliefs, they are actually an energy block to your moving forward in life. So in the beliefs, number tap out pannalam. I can give you an example of a lady, a 35-year-old lady who came to me for healing. Her problem was insomnia. She could not sleep for many years. For many years, she could not sleep. Okay, so I told her to write down what is happening right now. I have chronic insomnia. எனக்கு ராத்திரி தூக்கமே வரல. நான் ஒழுங்கா தூங்கி 15 வருஷம் ஆச்சு. Right. உன்னோட ரியாக்ஷன் அதுக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? I am frustrated. நான் எல்லாமும் ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டேன். I am frustrated. I am not able to sleep. I get tired when I get up in the mornings. And then the tiredness, it affects the rest of my day and all my activities. Okay. So what do you want? I want to have good night's peaceful sleep. Okay. So idhula dhaan tapping ஆரம்பிச்சோம். We started on these 3 occasions. Then இது ஒரு 2 வாட்டி பண்ணப்புறம் then I asked her what has changed. Then she told me, I think the reason why I'm not sleeping goes down to my childhood. Enna, when she was about between the age of 5 and 10, her parents used to fight a lot. Chanda potunde irpa. And her father sometimes would get violent and beat the mother. So in the குழந்தைக்கு என்னன்னாக்கா, நம்ம தூங்காம இருந்தோம்னாக்கா, நம்ம அலர்ட்டா இருந்தோம்னாக்கா, அப்பா வந்து அம்மாவை அடிக்கும் போது நம்ம போய் அதை தடுக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு இதுலயே அது தூங்காமையே இருக்கும் அந்த குழந்தை. So this is where it started. So we had to start tapping on that. அப்ப tapping na என்னன்னாக்கா, it is like peeling off the layers of an onion. இப்ப நடக்கிற சம்பவம் தான் நம்ம பாக்குறோம். இப்ப நம்ம லைஃப் எப்படி அஃபெக்ட் ஆறதான் பாக்குறோம். பட் அதனோட வேறு ரூட் எங்க இருக்கு அப்படின்னாக்கா, நம்ம டேப்பிங் பண்ண you will realize that this problem is not an individual one. It has its root somewhere else. It has its root maybe in some belief or some earlier past incident. And that is the reason that you are facing now. So this is how the tapping works. It removes from your cell memory all the past things that are negative in order for you, releases all the energy blocks so that you can function better. Okay, so this is the basic EFT. It goes on. This is only the basic level what I've taught you. You can apply this to all your feelings and situations in life. Every day you can do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, anything, any amount of time that you want. You can do the EFT and the tapping. These are the basic points. From here we move on to what is called Bach flower remedies. Bach flowers, they've been discovered by Dr. Edward Bach. This is a book I have. This is called the Encyclopedia of Bach flowers. You can get it on Amazon. There are a lot of other Bach flower books also. Bach flowers was discovered by Dr. Edward Bach. Dr. Edward Bach was actually a neurophysician. He was practicing in London, and at an early age he was discovered with cancer. And his fellow doctors told him that he did not have much to live. So he said, my life is going to be short. I might as well contribute something to society, because you can't find answers for all diseases in the allopathic system. So he went back to his London home in the countryside, and he had this innate capacity of feeling the energy of the plants. Okay? So our English countryside left, there were flowers which are growing, which is called beech, holly, cherry plum, chestnut, chestnut bud, white chestnut. In the Mari, there were 38, he discovered 38 flowers which had the ability to heal. And through his research, he found that each of these 38 flowers represents a certain emotion which is within a person. Okay, so he says we are all made up of these 38 emotions. It makes up a personality. Nammaloda personality la the emotions alla irukku. What happens is some emotions are more, some emotions are less. So you have people who are very rigid. In the booking eduthiya inga dhaan vekkanum. And there are some people who try to control others. They want to be possessive of others. That is, if things are happening within their control, they are very happy. This is also wrong. You should have things happening in your control, ஆனா அதுதான் நம்ம ப்ராசஸ் நம்ம கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு இது இருக்கக்கூடாது. Then anger is good, but too much anger is not good. Then there are people who cannot say no to anybody. அவ வந்து தன்னையே வருத்தப்பட்டு தன்னையே கஷ்டப்பட்டு அந்த வேலையை செய்வாங்களே தவிர அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இல்ல என்னால முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. So these are all, he put people under 38 different personalities. So you have the fear personality, that is people who are afraid of specific things, that is afraid of boarding a flight, afraid of cockroaches, afraid of dogs. So specifically they know I'm afraid of certain things. Then there are people who are afraid of unknown things. Okay, enna bayam theriyadu, edho one negative, something negative is going to happen, something bad is going to happen, but I don't know what. I have a fear. This is called an unknown fear. There are people who get into panic. In some situations, they get into so much panic that they stress and terrify others. So, like that, he identified 38 flower remedies. Each stands for one person. The people who are very dominating, who will say that my way is the right way, there is no other way. So, this is one characteristic. So, how the Bach flowers work is, everybody who goes through, we did tapping. When you did the tapping, a lot of you might have written, this situation makes me angry, this situation makes me frustrated, I feel a sense of hopelessness. Many of you would have written these reactions. So what we do is, Bach flower remedy is given for what you express, for the emotion that you express. So if you say, I feel a sense of hopelessness in this situation, I don't think anything can be done, I just feel hopeless. So what does the therapist do? He picks the Bach flower gorse. Gorse represents hopelessness. Okay, so he picks the remedy gorse and he tells the client, okay, so Bach flowers come in, you can get it in liquid form in the homeopathic shop, okay, or you can also get a pills form. They are small globules on which the essences are put. You can get it in pills form. So the Bach flower therapist enna pannuvaru, he will recommend gorse. In the pills you put about 3 pills in a liter of water and you sip the water the whole day. If you buy the liquid, you put 2 drops in the bottle of water and sip it the whole day. Okay, so the remedy that a particular person has to be given is based on the expression of the person and not upon the diagnosis of the therapist. The therapist cannot. So if the person says, I feel hopeless, he will say, okay, that means this person needs gorse, and he will give it. He will not diagnose or he will not interpret that person's words. Okay, so there are people who say, na ella eduthukum poyachu, ella treatmentum try panniyachu, kadasila I have come to you. There is a remedy for that called Serato. A person who always says, I have tried everything, but I have come here finally. There is a remedy for that. Why do we have to give these? Why do we need to treat the personality? Because a lot of things are manifestations of the mind. What we think, we put into ourselves, and that affects our mind. That also affects the healing process. Okay, so first you must address the emotion, you must address the psyche of the person, and then you must get the person to do the tapping, and then also you must apply the techniques of pranic healing. So like I told you, I'll come to one person. So this girl wanted actually to open a florist shop. She was very fond of doing all this florist, arranging of flowers and all that. அவளுக்கு ரொம்ப ஆசை இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு florist shop open பண்ணனும்னு. But what did not give her the confidence, எதனால அவ அது பண்ணல அப்படின்னாக்கா, her father had earlier had a business and he did not do well in his business. So her mind was, I am not cut out for business because my father did business, he failed in it. So if I open my own florist shop to do business, I will also fail. This is a belief. This is a belief which has to be tapped out. This is a belief or an assumption that is based on a previous experience that happened to somebody in your family. So when you tap out, you say, even though this happened to my father, I choose to believe that it will not happen to me. Okay. And for this, you give a remedy. You give the remedy of confidence. To build up the confidence, you give a batch flower remedy, which builds up the confidence. And then you do pranic healing, where you do pranic psychotherapy for this person to release, to cut the cords that has connected to this previous experience and to foster confidence in this person. So when I do a session with a person, how do I do it? I first scan the energy of this person. Scanning is done with the hand, which can only be taught to you in a virtual class, in a one-to-one class. So I scan the energy of the person first, okay? Then I tell this person to write down whatever their thoughts and beliefs are about it. Then I tell them to start doing the tapping. As they are doing the tapping, I also rescan the energy to see where the change is happening, okay? Then once the change has happened, the tapping is done, I tell them to take these remedies. I tell them you buy it from the homeopathic shop and take these remedies. Once they come to the next session, through the scanning, you will always be able to make out what has been the changes in their aura. So I apply the technique of pranic healing. I make them participate in the healing by doing the EFT, and then I give the batch flower remedies. Now, what is the point of giving these, making them do the tapping and the batch flower? Now, pranic healing is something I always do one-to-one. Okay, I never do distant healing unless it is an emergency. And definitely not in cases where people have emotional problems. I never do distant healing. Okay, so they have come to me. I have done physical healing for them. Now, when they step out, how are they going to carry forward the healing till the next healing session happens? They have to get healing happening in some way, yeah. So I have taught them the EFT, which they can do on a regular basis. I have given them the batch flower remedies, which they will take, and the healing will happen. So all of these three work at a physical level, at a mental, emotional level, at an energy level to apply, to come to a holistic healing. At the end of the day, everybody's healing lies in their own hands. Okay, I have arthritis, somebody else also has arthritis. I can't give a general medicine for that. How do I approach my arthritis? What is my attitude towards it? What is their approach? What is their attitude? Differs completely from individual to individual. So every individual's healing is in their own hands. They have to take the responsibility for it, and they have to understand it and then make their alterations in the lifestyle, in the attitude, in the food, and in whatever else they're doing. And approach every problem with gratitude, love, and compassion. And that is how healing is obtained. So with this, I hope I have given you some clue as to what a healing is. And I hope I have done justice to Vidya's this thing about me. I can go on talking about this. I can talk to you about pranic healing for 2 whole days. I can talk to you about batch flower for 3-4 days and everything, because it is so exhaustive in its uses. But here I just wanted to give you a curtain raiser. Idilerinde you can find your interest and you can explore more of these things. So I thank Vidya so much for this opportunity, and thank you, Vidya. Thank you, viewers. I hope you have understood and assimilated a little of whatever I have said.
Thank you so much, Sita. I mean, it was such an amazing session. My God, I have written notes on this. Being a psychotherapist and a counselor, most of what you said is something which, I work on for the last 12 years. So I know the depth of what you're trying to say and what you're trying to reach out to all of us. I personally believe that, it's a beautiful way of, taking your life, and you are the architect of your life. You
Absolutely.
have that power within you,
Yes.
and that power with which you can speak to yourself. There is something called self-talk.
Yes.
You talk nicely to yourself. There is so much of positivity which you could put onto yourself, your self-love.
Yes.
And that itself will, increase your self-confidence, increase your self-worth, and you will feel wanted. And only when you feel wanted can you spread that to the universe. And that is how I look at it. And how Sita spoke about the water and the crystals, this is a true story, my dear friends. It is like, there was a river which was so polluted and contaminated, and a lot of monks went to the river and to the water and started speaking to that. And water was collected before this experiment and after the experiment, and they found that the water was drinkable or portable, as they say. And initially there was the water was something which was stinky and not even edible. So, and the same thing applies to plants also.
Absolutely.
You go to the plant and you say, I love you. You're so beautiful. Look at the flowers you've given to me today.
Yes.
I'm so thankful to you. And tomorrow you will see more flowers, more, things happening. The same way you go and tell to a plant that, so worthless, how much I have watered, so much I have done for you. I don't see anything happening. And you would see that plant wither away. Yes. Imagine if it is for water and plant, what could this kind of a therapy do to people or human beings like you and me?
Yeah.
I mean,
if I may interrupt you here, Vidya.
Go ahead.
I was growing a tomato plant. Okay. And the plant started at one end, it started withering and it almost died. And I was feeling completely hopeless and lost. And I was thinking, what is this? After all this plant is not coming up and this and that. Then I decided to change my attitude and my way towards the plant. I started putting the flower remedies in the plant, the soil of the plant. And I started taking the remedy for over enthusiasm. See, when you start gardening, you become over enthusiastic. And then you wildly imagine that your garden is going to be full of all of these tomatoes and these whatever you're growing. Then to take a feeling of hopelessness that it is not going to grow, you're transferring that energy to that plant. So you need to take the energy, and you also need to provide energy to that plant. And then I found this thing that had withered completely just popped up one day. Just popped up, that plant. And they also tell you how to prepare the soil, to put what remedies to put in the soil and to prepare it for you to plant and transplant. See, so at every stage I used to use these batch flowers, and they so because the batch flowers are so in tune with nature, they help these things to heal and grow better.
Awesome. I guess, this is how I look at it. When it can do to the plants and to the water, we are just, human beings, and it is all in our attitude that we can change and totally transform. And change is the only constant factor. And as Mahatma Gandhi said, the change starts from within. You have to be the change. You cannot expect somebody else or something else or some situation to change unless you change your attitude towards that situation. And I would love to thank Sita for putting so much of positivity to this session. And thanks to all the viewers. But before I end the session, I want to read out all those wonderful feedback which you have got, Sita. I'm going to take a screenshot and share it with you too. Okay. So Rhoda says, interesting information about our daily life requirements, water, so much to learn about energy and attitude, ways to cope with current issue troubles for positive results. Thank you so much. Jayashree says, thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. Thanks, Vidya. Surya Ma says, thank you so much, ma'am. Wonderful information. Thank you, Vidya. Parvati says, excellent message. Thank you so much. And it is so amazing to have, all our friends log in and understand what each speaker can actually add on. The value added is so vast. And it is like, self-healing, self-therapy. And as you did, Sita, I have written down notes on the tapping. This is something new I learned today. And I'm definitely going to use it because I guess all of us have so many things bothering or clouding our brains and mind. And if we can just remove all those negative spaces from our living being, we can be positive and we can, transfer this kind of positivity into the environment. So thank you so much, Sita, for your time.
Welcome. Thank you so
for
much.
your
Vidya.
wealth of wisdom and what you have shared with all of us. And thanks to all the viewers who have made this day possible. And super excited to thank Pramod for this link, and Judeline, who's doing the recording along with her son Nathan. And the Get and Get Fit series, just is getting better and bigger, and whatever, it is like the effect of it, the ripple effect of it is really growing bigger, and we can only thank God and have our gratitude towards the universe and to the Almighty that all of us have to be safe, have to be healthy, have to be protected. And we have one more session coming up for this year of 2020. That is the next week on 26th. But before that, I want all of you to understand that, our lives are going to be transformational if we just follow these simple techniques of growing beyond, what our circumstances can be or the challenges that we face in our everyday life.
Correct.
So thank you so much, Sita, for your time, for your energy, and best of luck, dear friends. And awesome as always, and so excited to have all of you with us. Okay, so take care.
I thank all the viewers because 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning is not a really easy time to log in. So I thank you all so much for your patience and for your hearing. I hope you all benefited and understood a little bit at least of what I was trying to say. And a lot of information is available on this. You can read up the YouTube. You can buy a lot of books on Bach Plus. They're all very simple and easy to follow. And you have your healing and your life in your hands. That's all. God has given you that intelligence. He has provided you with that power. Just make use of it.
Thank you, Sita, for those concluding remarks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care,
Thank
buddy.
you, Vidya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too. Bye.